Hi everybody. So this month for my monthly wrap up, what I'm going to do is I am breaking some of my reviews down by genre, so that way I don't have as many to do in the monthly wrap up video, so it's not too long for you guys. So the first video that I'm doing is for historical fiction. I read a few of those books this month, about 7 historical fictions. The first one is called Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano, and I will read one of the reviews on the back because basically I agree with what this reviewer said. Hello Beautiful is a profoundly moving and propulsive novel about the deepest connections of family, love, trauma, and healing. An intricately elegant prose. Anne Napolitano explores both the cost and power of loyalty and honesty. This book is to treasure and share with friends and loved ones. And that review was by Angie Kim, who was the author of Happiness Falls, another book I read this month, which I'm going to be reviewing in the longer form review video. This book is a historical fiction that's set in the modern day, and the end of the description on the inside of the book jacket says it's an exquisite homage to Louisa May Alcott's timeless classic Little Women. Hello Beautiful is a profoundly moving portrait of what is possible when we choose to love something not in spite of who they are, but because of it. So, like Little Women, this book focuses on a family of 4 sisters, the Pordevanos, Julia, Cecilia, Emmeline, and Sylvie. Sylvie is the character that I most relate to because she's a reader like me. So the male protagonist of this book, his name is William. He's the one who marries Julia, and something comes back into his life from the past that kind of shakes up his relationship with Julia. And I don't want to provide any spoilers in this review, so if you want to read it, it's very good. Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. The next couple of books are books that I am currently in the middle of reading. The first one is by JoJo Moyes, Someone Else's Shoes. So this is about 2 girls and their bags accidentally get switched at the gym. And I really love JoJo Moyes' writing. You really feel like you are in the characters' heads when she writes. And I'm going to read another review that's on the back of the book because I agree with what this person says. JoJo's work never fails to bring a smile to my face with her honesty, humor, and empathy about what it is to be human. Emilia Clarke. I believe that's the actress from the Game of Thrones show. Correct me if I'm wrong, but right now I am on page 270, and I am on track to probably finish this book tomorrow or Saturday. The next book is something I just picked up at the library today, actually. It's called This Other Eden by Paul Harding, and my mother-in-law recommended this book to me a couple months ago. It's set in an isolated island off the coast of Maine in the 1970s. And it's like a historical fiction about this guy named Benjamin, and it touches on his family's history, because in 1912, there's this guy named Matthew Diamond who's a retired teacher, and basically he's somebody who disrupts education, I guess. So beginning with a hurricane flood reminiscent of Noah's Ark, the novel ends with another ark. In prose of breathtaking beauty and power, Paul Harding brings to life an unforgettable cast of characters. Iris and Violet McDermott, sisters raising three Penobscot orphans, Theophilus and Candace Larks, and their bond of vagabond children. The prophetic Zachary Hand to God verbs, a Civil War veteran who lives in a hollow tree, Ethan Honey, a young artist, and Bridget Corney, an Irish housemaid. A spellbinding story of resistance and survival. The Other Eden is an enduring testament to the struggle to preserve human dignity in the face of intolerance of injustice. I just started this book this afternoon when I brought it home from the library, and I am on page 90. It's very good so far. I'm very much enjoying it. The next book that I'm reading is called The Four Winds by Kristin Hannah. Kristin Hannah is the same person who wrote Firefly Lane, which I read 2 months ago and really loved. I just tried to get into another book by her called These Things That We, wait, I think I have that in here. It's right here. The Things We Do for Love. So I could not really connect with the characters in this book very well because it's about a woman who can't get pregnant and a teenage girl who wants to get pregnant, but she's too young to actually have a baby, so she adopts the other woman's baby. So I just couldn't connect to these characters or the story or what they were going through. So that's why I had to DNF it. But with this book, this is an historical fiction that's set during the Great Depression and the time when people were moving west to California. It's set in the 1920s and the beginning of the Great Depression, but it reminds me, the trip that they go on to California reminds me of what happened a century before when they were traveling on the Oregon Trail. And I love the world building that Kristin Hannah gives and all the imagery she gives with nature in this book. That's what attracts me the most to it. Another book I just brought home from the library today is Women Talking by Miriam. A movie based on this book was nominated for the Oscar last year, I'm pretty sure. And I haven't seen the movie yet, but I want to. So this book is about true events that happened in Africa, I believe, and it's about women in that country fighting for their rights to vote, which is really interesting and really very good. So far, I am on page 114. Finally, the next book in the historical fiction genre that I am reading this month is called Young Queens by Leah Redmond Chang. I finished this last week. My mother-in-law, Sally, loaned it out to me. It's basically a story about Catherine de' Medici, Mary, Queen of Scots, and Elizabeth DeValios, and how they grow up in the Middle Ages and their rise to be on the throne in their various countries. And it was a very interesting book. I really, really enjoyed it. So, a historical fiction book that is on my TBR for next month is a book that I just picked up at the bookstore that's about Irish history, which I can't wait to read. I don't have it in front of me, but I will be talking about it in the vlogger form video for my March reading wrap-up, which will be posted on the 30th. This video is set to come out on Monday, the 25th at 2 o'clock. So, stay tuned. Have a good weekend.